Prime Minister Narendra Modi's schedule is packed with a flurry of visits and meetings with major global players. G7, Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation Summit. PM Modi will be one of the most influential leaders at all of these gatherings. The world's newfound admiration for India stems from her ascent to diplomatic and economic dominance. It has become evidently clear of late that it is neither feasible nor realistic to seek a meaningful progress in geopolitics without the largest country of the world, India's engagement. Join us as we discuss Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming visits and how they will further strengthen India's significant standing in a swift evolving global hierarchy.
With diverse political settings and objectives, Japan, Australia, and Papua New Guinea have invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The G7 summit has acknowledged India's growing dominance at the global stage and has sent her an invitation to every single summit since 2019. The Quad, as a security grouping, loses its significance without India, and India's outreach to island nations has been rewarded, as she is set to chair the Indo-Pacific Cooperation Summit on May 22nd. India has emerged as a major force in global diplomacy, a leader in multilateralism. Apart from her successful engagements with her close allies and neighbors, India is leading several prominent regional and global groupings, such as the G20 and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India has seized the leadership position in upholding the principle of international cooperation to ensure global peace, security, and sustainability.
India has its own standing and its own recognition at the international level. It's a power to reckon with. So therefore, all the power blocs and all the important countries of the West, they are very much tempted to extend their deep bilateral relationship as well as a multilateral relationship.
New Delhi not only holds close connections with its allies, but its multi-alignment strategy ensures positive relations with nations world over. India is currently the president of the SCO and the G20, two groups which experts believe can contribute significantly to global stability and security. While economies throughout the world are still recovering from COVID fallouts, the Russia-Ukraine war has also added to economic and security challenges, which India and her allies are handling conscientiously. India recently hosted foreign ministers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization nations in Goa to discuss regional security matters, including adding Iran and Belarus to a union of nations, which are seen as a counterweight to Western influence in Eurasia. It is the world's largest regional body in terms of geographic scope and population. The SCO largely focuses on regional security issues and the fight against regional terrorism, ethnic separatism, and religious extremism.
The world is today facing a multitude of challenges. These events have disrupted global supply chains, leading to serious impact on the supply of energy, food, and fertilizers, and cascading effects on developing nations. These challenges, however, are also an opportunity for member states of the SCO to collaborate and address them collectively.
India's chief concerns also remain regional security and improving better ties with its neighbors, including China and Pakistan. Unfortunately, India continues to face border conflicts with both China and Pakistan over terrorism and drug trafficking. The Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, who took part at the SCO meet, was the first senior leader from Pakistan to visit India in almost 12 years. His visit, however, failed to break the ice, and no bilateral meeting took place with his Indian counterpart. Indian Foreign Minister Jaishankar came down heavily on Pakistan as he called his counterpart Bilawal Bhutto Zardari a spokesperson of a terrorism industry.
As a foreign minister of an SCO member state, Mr. Bhutto Zardari was treated accordingly. As a promoter, justifier, and I'm sorry to say spokesperson of a terrorism industry, which is the mainstay of Pakistan, his positions were called out and they were countered, including at the SCO meeting itself.
As part of its G20 presidency this year, India continues to engage with global leaders and diplomats under the theme, One Earth, One Family, One Future. G20 events being hosted in different cities is helping delegates and guests to catch a glimpse of India's rich culture and tradition in terms of food delicacy and diversity in language and cultural heritage. At least 200 events have been planned in over 50 cities across the country on scores of work streams.
India has a great future ahead, and it's very nice to see all the projects they did here and they are doing here in this state of Odisha. I think if you continue like that, only good things will come ahead.
India, being one of the world's fastest growing economies, holds significant global prominence. India's participation in a series of summits, including G7 meeting and Commonwealth Summit, exhibits an open-minded foreign policy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming visit to Japan, Papua New Guinea, and Australia for G7, Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation Summit, are also a validation of New Delhi's commitment towards issues of global concern. People world over seeking Indian contribution and presence at every decision highlight one indisputable truth, that India is indispensable and cannot be ignored.